I've had at least 1,000 trades sent to me directly over the past year. And over this time, I've had some time to actually analyze a lot of your trades. I've had time to see what made your trades winning, what trades made yours losing trades. Overall reason why you, as my viewers, may not be profitable. And today I want to share to you what I've taken out of all these trades. Okay, so we're gonna hop on the charts for a second here, and I'm actually going to tell you just to come into this without having kind of a bias on this being, financial chart. Let's just look at this chart as just a chart in general. This could be anything. This could be, just let it be anything. Don't let it be a chart for Forex though, because I'm gonna explain some things here, and hopefully it will help you to understand where a lot of you are going wrong in your trading. So I'm just gonna go ahead here and actually make all the candles just one color, just to make it a little bit easier on you to just see that it's just a chart here. Okay, so after analyzing a lot of your trades over the past year, I've noticed some very key differences. And one of the biggest things that I've noticed is actually what I'm gonna explain here today. So let me just start by getting into the charts here and explain a quick concept for you. Just gonna start off by saying like I said before, I want you to look at this chart as just any other chart. It doesn't matter, it doesn't have to do with Forex. And what's important to understand is that in a chart there are always these key moments here. So there's key lows, these key highs to every chart. Like here, here. We have a major low point in this plot chart here, a major low point here. So what's important is to pay attention to these major areas. And I'm gonna go off and start charting this like we're gonna make this the life. So this chart is gonna resemble the life of a person. So, in the very beginning, go all the way back here. Let's say the person here was born. Every candlestick is gonna represent a month. So way back here, someone was born, and a couple months after that, maybe life was a little bit of a struggle. I know you're already born in this world, you're already having some sort of struggle. So, and then let's say here, after that, we had some really good months. We were learning to walk, learning to eat, learning to, do all this great stuff. So let's say this key high moment here was learning to walk. So that was this key moment back here, high. Now this high is important to pay attention to because this was a big moment in your life here, learning to walk. Now after that, you had some ups and downs, it pulled back a little bit. And let's say here you, I don't know, maybe fell and you broke your finger here. Broke your finger. So these were two already very key moments, two very extremes. You have a high of learning to walk and a low of breaking your finger. So these were two very different moments in your life, but a couple of years into your life, you've already experienced these bigger moments. So what's important to understand is now how momentum works is when you have these two, an extreme high and an extreme low. So your extreme high would be learning to walk and your extreme low would be breaking your finger. It's important to pay attention to these very extreme moments in your life or in the chart and pay attention to how do you overcome them or do you go lower than them. So that's what we need to pay attention to. So if we're looking for your life to get better, a way to measure, the performance of your life and, things getting better is that the very last kind of high moment in your life was topped by something else. You're able to surpass that. So for example, here, as we started going up, we eventually had a moment that was even higher than learning to walk, right? So, this moment right here could have been that you said your first sentence. Child, maybe you said your first sentence here, your first sentence. And that was, something even more amazing than learning to walk, right? So now, since you've known that, okay, cool, we've actually been able to top our previous biggest, highest achievement by something else, that shows that our momentum is actually leaning in an upward direction. So from here on, we know we can keep improving, keep going higher. We know we're not kind of in the lower momentum of our life. So, as time increases, more things happen. Maybe here you, went to school. Here you graduated your first grade, and eventually all these things happen through your life. You keep having these highs and lows. So like here, maybe this is a low point here. Maybe you failed your first test or something, failed a test. And here maybe you graduated grade kindergarten. Okay, so now you've had these experiences throughout your life, Now, fast forward, let's say some more years, and here up top here, maybe you bought your first car, right? This is your first car, big achievement in your life. Bought your first car. What's another thing that's very achievable, as a high, like up here? Okay, well, maybe you made your first 2K, or saved up your first 2K. I don't know, saved up your first 2K. Let's say here you saved up your first 2K, right? But now all of a sudden in your life you start going downhill. All these things start happening. Life's been tough. You maybe all of a sudden you're at this low point again. You're down here. You're at this low point. Something has happened for you to actually go lower than how low you felt when you failed your math course. Something in this candle has made you go lower. So you're probably wondering, like, okay, what are you getting at here? What are you getting to? Well, this is important when you're trading because, for example, in real life, let's say you failed your math course. Now this candle here, this month, let's say now that, I don't know, let's say you crashed your car in this month. Now, all of a sudden, you've actually hit a lower point than you felt when you were at your lowest before, when you failed that math course and you had to do it all over again. Now you crash your car, you're at one of your lowest points. All of a sudden, are you going to expect life to just turn around? All of a sudden, life keeps going up? Well, yes, I mean, you can be optimistic, you look forward to that. But the thing is, when you've already kind of surpassed something that has already been a very low point for you, life could continue to kind of have some more tough times because these things kind of have a snowball effect. You failed your math course, you crashed your car, life can't just turn around all of a sudden right away after that. You're going to have a little bit of a drawdown first before things start to turn around. So now if I change this and mark this as a low and this as a high, and now we're going to be talking about trading obviously here. So same thing. Now this is a low and then this broke the low. Okay, so now this broke the low. So you can't expect all of a sudden, because this was the very lowest point before, and now we had a candle that broke that low. Price isn't going to automatically just turn around and start going upside. It's like, no, we actually were able to break a significant low in the price. So we're obviously gonna push down a little bit. We're gonna have some more momentum in that direction. Now for us to finally wait for momentum to turn around, we have to wait for the opposite to happen. We have to wait for something that was very significant, on the upside, which would be this high here, right? Like this was a high. We have to wait for price to actually top that high. So let's say this high point in your life was you bought another car, you got your car back. Probably have to wait for something a little bit more significant to happen to feel like your life is starting to move in an upward direction. So let's say this month right here, let's say you saved up 5K, right? Now you're up to $5,000. Maybe that was a significant turn point in your life. You saved up your first $5,000. Now you're like, okay, I got my car back, I saved up 5K, and now as you can see, the momentum is starting to shift into the positive side of things in your life. So that's the same way you need to look at trading. Now going back to the beginning of the video when I said that I've been struggling to see that a lot of people are failing their trades, and I've been seeing the places they're struggling at, and the most place I see is that people aren't trading with the trend. We have a lot of people just expecting price to just turn around at a click of their buy, or they're expecting price to still continue up even though we're clearly in the kind of downtrend of the life or the chart. So a lot of these times, people are asking me, why did this trade fail? Well, especially if you're trading the simple Forex method, I notice a lot of the times people are just randomly taking buys or sells, wherever they want. So for example, if we continue to look at this trend, we're in this uptrend right now. There's no sense in taking a sell right here. We've hit many highs in our life at this point. It's like, now the same thing moving forward here, if we actually mark out all these lows, we had a low get broken here. So if we see this was a significant low in your life, in the chart, whatever it may be, and that low was actually broken this month here. So we had something significant happen to break and to be lower than we were before. So obviously right after that, we had some of this price pull back into that low there. Now, once price broke the significant recent high, which would have been here, we had price break out of here. Obviously now we had the momentum to continue higher. So it's really important to pay attention to these. And if I scroll back in the chart, I can show you over and over again how this is constantly happening, right? So like for here, for example, we have this significant low, that gets broken. And as you can see, price moves down. Now, and the same goes for the opposite. We have this downtrend, a significant high would have been here. We had the high get broken. And then right after that, we had price move up. And we can just keep looking constantly over and over and over again. It happens all the time. We have this high here, boom. A significant low would be here. So then right after we have that significant low get broken, we have this push down. Life isn't just going to turn around all of a sudden, because like a lot of you might think, oh, price is gonna all of a sudden shoot up from here. Well, it's like, no, we just had the significant low in our lives here, or in the chart, got topped. So obviously it's not going to all of a sudden go higher. Like, we got to pay attention to how momentum works. And this is a way I can kind of visualize and help me see how momentum works, is by comparing it to kind of like a life or a chart of, some sort of progress, right? It works the same way. So yeah, that really helps me trade, and hopefully that can help you. If you're looking for a great broker to use, I highly recommend signing up with Hango Trade. Click the link below to sign up with them. They have great spreads, great leverage. You can sign up with them really fast, get your account funded using crypto. If you want to start trading, go ahead and sign up with them today. I use them personally and I highly recommend them. Okay, so now we're gonna switch the chart back to normal and get the red candles in here. And now we can show you exactly how I like to use this method when I'm actually trading. So what we can do is we can just scroll all the way back and hit the replay button and just go to a random point. And now we can actually use this to trade live. We'll trade live here for a second just to show you how this exactly works. All right, so here we're making new highs. We're clearly in the uptrend of our life here. Now we're gonna mark out some significant lows. This was our last significant low, and the reason we see that is because here on the MACD we have this red zone. So this was our significant low. Now we just had that low get broken. Okay, cool. So now we know we can, the chart is going to start going down from here. So if we just mark out that, as you can see, momentum will continue downwards. We're not all of a sudden going to go up. No, that's not possible. For us to go up, we have to mark out the recent significant high, which was here. So for us to see any progress forward, we actually have to see a candle come up here and break above this, because now we're in the low point of our lives, right? But now we've actually just entered a high point of our lives, because now this is a new lower high. This was the high got broken. So now we have momentum going up. So now the momentum has shifted to the upside. And now we had another low get broken here. So now the momentum has shifted to the downside, right? And this just happens over and over and over again. And we're constantly shifting back and forth, back and forth. Here was the last low, we had that get broken, and now we're having momentum come back up to the upside. And then this right here was the low here, we had that get broken, and now we're shifting to the lower side here. So now if you want to actually trade off of these, changes in momentum, I'll show you how to do that. So this is exactly how the simple Forex method works. Whoops, as my website. Okay, so now if we actually want to trade that, we can go ahead here and just kind of wait for, because we're in this downtrend right now, we want to wait for a significant, high to get broken. This technically wasn't broken because we only had wicks pop above. So actually, sorry, there was a high here. So that was a high there. So now that got broken. So now we can actually trade in the direction, of going up, because now we've just hit our low and now we can start to switch momentum to the upside. As you can see, right after that, we start heading up. And now if we want to do the opposite, we'd have to wait for a sell. So we can do the opposite too. We just have to wait for the opposite to happen. So we need a significant low to get broken. Here was the last significant low, was not broken. So we're still technically in an uptrend. This is the new low here. All right, now we have a break of this low. So as you can see, whoops, I didn't mean to skip ahead there, but as you can see, when that gets broken, now you can trade it going lower. As you can see, you could have got a nice little 2 risk to reward ratio out of that. But yeah, anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned something. If you like this video, I am actually going to be posting the whole momentum theory on how I use it with scalping. If you're interested in learning how to scalp, I will be releasing that in the Discord. Here's the thumbnail, and I'm going to be dropping that in the Discord tomorrow. So if you're interested in joining the premium Discord, I have my entire course in there. I live stream twice a week in there. So if you're interested in joining, go ahead and join that. Other than that, hopefully you enjoyed watching the video.